we are talking with 3 Titanic survivors. They will tell us about the dreadful experience. First, we will talk with our oldest survivor. Hello, could you tell us your name?
Miss Elizabeth Walton Allen.
How old are you, Elizabeth?
I'm 29 years old.
While on the Titanic, who did you travel with?
I was traveling with my aunt, cousin, and my aunt's maid.
Where were you when the ship hit the iceberg?
While I was in bed, my maid woke me up and said the water was filling the baggage room. I told her not to worry and returned to her room. She returned minutes later to inform me that her room was now filling with water. We grabbed our things and went to the boat deck.
Okay. Did you hear a band play on the deck?
I never saw or heard a band playing.
What did you do while on the deck?
Well, we stood in line, and then we saw 18 men enter a boat. Officer Boxell shouted, "Get out, you cowards," and we were then instructed to have women and children get into the boat. I was one of those women.
While on the boat, what did you do? Was it scary?
Well, we were lowered into the water, then starting to row away from the ship to avoid suction. When we were being lowered, it was scary because we were like halfway, and I thought I was going to fall out.
What did you do while you were floating on the actual scene, not getting lowered?
Well, all we did was just watch the ship plunge deeper and deeper into the water.
Did you see the ship sink?
Yes, as the last light went out, the screams began and seemed to last eternally.
Then what happened?
We rowed back once the ship sank, but saw no one alive anyway.
Could you see any icebergs?
No, but we could hear the lapping of the water on the icebergs.
Could you just describe your rescue?
Well, our boat was the first one picked up by the Carpathia, and I was the first one off the ladder. Everyone seemed afraid of it, but I know how they were feeling. I just couldn't wait to get off the boat. Once we were on, the officer asked where was the Titanic. I told him, she's gone.
Thank you for sharing your courageous story.
Anytime.
Next, we will interview our youngest survivor. Hello, could you tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Ava Hart.
How old are you, Ava?
I am 7 years old.
Who were you traveling with on the Titanic?
I was traveling with my parents going to Canada.
How did you know the Titanic had hit an iceberg?
I felt a bump. I woke up my father. My father went to talk to one of the sailors. He came back and said, "We hit an iceberg."
What happened next?
My father put my mother and I in a boat.
What did your father tell you?
He told me to hold onto my mommy's hand and be good. I never saw him again.
I'm sorry. What happened once your boat was in the water?
As we rowed away, he could hear people rushing and screaming and looking for life. As the people ship sank, you could hear people screaming and drowning in the water. I remember saying to my mother how dreadful the noise was.
And what did she say?
She said yes, but think about the silence that followed because the ship wasn't there.
Thank you for coming and interviewing me.
You're welcome.
Hello, survivor. Can you tell us our name? Your name?
I'm Master Marshall Drew.
How old are you, Marshall?
I'm 8 years old.
Who were you traveling with on the Titanic?
I'm traveling with my aunt and uncle.
How did you know the Titanic had hit an iceberg?
I felt a jolt.
Did anybody come and knock on your door?
A steward knocked on the door. He told us to put on our lifebelts and to report to the boat deck.
Interesting. How was it on the deck?
It was all calm and orderly.
How was the getting on the boats organized?
An officer said, "Women and children first." We went to lifeboat 11. My aunt and I said goodbye to Uncle Jim.
How was it on the boat?
We were lowered 70 feet. The boat was tilting. I was very afraid.
What happened on the water?
Once we were on the water, we began rowing very fast. They were afraid of being sucked in.
What happened while you were on the boat? Did you watch anything? See any icebergs?
We watched the portholes sink row by row.
What happened when the ship sank?
Right before the ship sinks, hundreds of people were thrown into the freezing sea. I can still hear the screams.
What do you have? What is your feelings about this?
Being a little man, I didn't cry. I went to sleep at the bottom of the boat.
What happens once you awoke?
It was daylight when I woke, and we were approaching the Carpathia. It looked like the Arctic icebergs were everywhere.
Thank you for interviewing with us and telling us your courageous story. Thank you. Thank you to those 3 people who took the time to tell me their amazing and courageous stories. Let's take some time to remember the people who are not so lucky. Thank you and good night.